How was Iain Armitage forced to change for the role of Sheldon? Why didn't the stars of the show ever watch The Big Bang Theory? And what challenges did the young actors face portraying kids from the 1980s?
Here's your first one.
Huh?
Hi, I'm Dylan. Let's go. Transform for the role. While Missy was forbidden from dyeing her hair at a young age, the actor who portrayed her brother actually had to. Iain Armitage is blonde in real life. You can see that in his other project, Big Little Lies. But the producers of Young Sheldon asked him to dye his hair brown for the role.
Well, actually, they dyed it for Sheldon because it was so blonde. It didn't look like Mr. Jim.
Oh, they dyeing babies' hairs now.
Well, at least Iain didn't have to sport a mullet like his brother George because he's definitely not a fan of such a hairstyle. Surprisingly, there was an actress who insisted on her character's transformation. The producers wanted Sheldon's Meemaw to have the same hair color as her on-screen daughter. But Annie Potts wanted to emphasize how different they are. I said, oh, I would like to play her with gray hair. And they said, what actor wants their hair gray? However, appearance was only the first step in creating the younger versions of the iconic Big Bang characters. The second rule all the actors had to follow was, respect the Flagship show. Amazingly, there are very few members of the Young Sheldon cast who have watched the original series. Montana Jordan revealed that, as a true Texan guy, he loves being outdoors and has never been a kid to sit down and watch TV. Of course he heard about how great the show was, but didn't watch it. Iain Armitage also admitted that he hasn't watched much of The Big Bang Theory. The first reason is that, just like his on-screen brother, he doesn't watch TV much. But what's more important, he thinks the original show wasn't really appropriate for him, as it wasn't aimed at his age group. So he only watched some appropriate clips that helped him connect with Sheldon Cooper. However, he spent a lot of time with Jim Parsons preparing for the role. Mr. Jim was coaching me, so I got the character pretty quickly, shared Iain.
He's such an incredible Sheldon coach, which is sort of a given.
You don't need much coaching.
But Iain wasn't the only actor who took some advice from an original cast member. The majority of the Young Sheldon fans already know that Zoe Perry is the daughter of Laurie Metcalf, who played Sheldon's loving mother on The Big Bang Theory. However, to land the role of Mary Cooper, Perry had to audition just like any other actor. Prior to the audition, I had gone back and rewatched all of her episodes, she revealed. I definitely wanted to make sure I had the voice and mannerisms on point. Moreover, Laurie Metcalf explained that Zoe wouldn't really have to play for laughs, as the writing is so funny that it kinda does the work for the actors. But that doesn't mean that filming the series was easy. Stay professional, and even more. The cast of the show is amazing, and there's never a dull moment on and off set. The young actors are not shy to share how they goof around.
But do any of you goof around on the set?
Ian and I.
Well, I never.
Probably. Yeah, that's what I thought. Montana, what's the real answer?
Yeah, it's for sure them two monsters. I try not to goof around a lot. Every now and again I might, but
For shame.
He wrestles.
But did you ever realize that children who work on TV are actually doing two jobs? Not only are they doing the job of an actor, but they also have to do school work as well. Seems like such a strict schedule would make it nearly impossible to focus on either school or scene work. Fortunately, Iain manages with it just fine, as he loves learning new things and simply adores his tutor. But does it make him as smart as his character? Memorize extensive lines. Iain Armitage loves playing the quirky little genius and doesn't even mind when people confuse him with his character. I've had plenty of people think I'm actually Sheldon, he says. I'm not, but I actually do like it when people call me Sheldon. But when it comes to whether he understands the complex scientific jargon rattled off by his brainy character on screen, Iain's answer is a big no. I've tried before, but some of the things he talks about are just so beyond my comprehension, he shared. It's like he's speaking some alien dialect from across the galaxy. But although Armitage admits that he's nowhere near as smart as Sheldon, he still has to memorize all those extensive factoids, which can be quite a challenge in itself. The actor explains that, generally, he breaks the long paragraphs of the scientific lines up into bits, so it's easier to fix them in his mind, and then he just puts all the parts together. However, there are times when this technique does not help. Like in an episode where Sheldon volunteered as a docent in a train museum. I had to learn a bunch of stuff about trains. It was kind of insane, revealed Iain. For some reason, with the train lines, my brain couldn't keep track of them.
The first one.
Huh?
So how did the young stars cope with the challenge? Well, with varied success. For example, Annie Potts recalled that Montana was trying to push the numbers on a rotary phone, and Reagan thought that the wall phone was a storage cabinet when she first saw it. But it seems like she loved the idea of getting to know what all these strange gadgets were.
And it's really cool learning also about like how my parents grew up, like Walkmans and the phones back then. I had no idea what any of those things were.
And while the realities of the 80s mostly created difficulties for the younger actors, there was one more rule which affected the whole cast. Shoot the sitcom like a real movie. The Big Bang Theory was a multi-camera show, filmed like a play with a studio audience. But the producers decided to shoot Young Sheldon in a single-camera format. It allows actors to work more with one another and develop their character without pausing for the live audience's reaction. But it also means that the series is filmed very much like a traditional movie. It's an entirely different animal, and the working process is very different, revealed Chuck Lorre. It's much slower. Imagine that. The shooting of one scene can sometimes take the same amount of time as filming an entire episode of TBBT. Especially now during the pandemic, when everything's going a little slower for the sake of safety. Iain says he is always eager to return to set to shoot a new season because it feels like home. For Reagan too, playing Missy is much more than just acting. It's like a home away from home, she shared. Zoe and Lance are like my second mom and dad.
It feels like we are actually a family.
Yeah.
Like we have a second family.
And as for Montana, the coolest part about the show is being able to play an older brother, which is quite understandable, as in real life, he has 2 older sisters. On screen, Mima's favoritism toward Sheldon is evident. But off screen, Annie Potts loves all of the child actors equally. In real life, Annie is a mother to 3 sons, but doesn't have grandchildren yet. So she enjoys being around her younger co-stars, and you'll never guess what she affectionately calls them.
I call them the ferrets. And when we go on a new set or something, it's all very interesting for them. So they're in all the drawers and all the boxes, and it's fun.
Isn't it cute? And now let's get down to the last and most recent rule on the set of the show. Stay connected. The pandemic deprived us of many pleasures, but we all find our ways to stay together no matter what, and so has the cast and crew of Young Sheldon. Their last big real-life reunion happened just before the shutdown, after shooting the episode directed by none other than Melissa Joanne Hart, better known as the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Since then, the team discovered a cool way to stay connected. They get together online and watch every episode of Young Sheldon before it premieres. We have viewing shows every once in a while. There's like 150 people on the calls, explains Iain Armitage. It's where you watch the episode that's going to air in that night, and then we eat lunch while we do it. Apart from keeping the team spirit up, it also allows the cast, especially the younger ones, to analyze how good their acting is. And very soon we'll be able to see how they've improved, because our favorite show got renewed for 3 more seasons. The premiere of Season 5 is set for this fall already, which is simply great news. And if you enjoyed this video, have a look at our review on behind-the-scenes moments of your favorite show, and stay awesome.